University's television, AAU TV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AAU TV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
You're welcome to another exciting edition of the Hello Africa Morning Show, brought to you by the Association of African Universities, the voice of higher education in Africa. And we are coming live to you from the Secretariat of the AAU here in Accra, Ghana. This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Water and Bigo Drinks. My name is Isabella Hinakwa, and I'm here with my amazing guest and co-host,
Naomi Dako.
Great. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Great. You're looking beautiful.
You too. I like your color.
Thank you very much.
Dress. Yeah.
Thank you. And what do we have for today?
So today we are going to do, just like we did the last time, we are going to be talking or discussing some top African news stories, things that have been happening over the weekend and throughout the week. We will also have some entertainment and lifestyle segments.
Okay.
Of course, we all know that Euro 2024 is happening, so we would engage our sports presenter to tell us what is happening in the world of sports. And then I think that will be it for the segment.
Yes, and I think we have a guest joining us.
Yes, we'll have a guest to help us understand the situation happening in Kenya. I'm sure some of our guests saw some of the protest videos all over social media, and so we would want somebody in the country to explain to us the situation, what is happening, and what is going to happen next, even after the protest. So yes, that will be it for our discussions. Do make sure to join us, to join the discussions via social media platforms at AAU TV Official on Instagram, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, and
the Association of African Universities on YouTube and Facebook. I know you wouldn't want to miss this exciting discussion, so stick with us as we go for a break. Stay tuned. You're welcome back from the break. If you just joined, this is Hello Africa Morning Show on AAU TV, and the program is proudly sponsored by Vena Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Moving on to the top African news, just this weekend, thousands gathered in Ogun State for this annual celebration. That is the Ojodi Oba. Ojodi Oba means the King's Court, and is a time for the Ijebu community to come together and honor their king, which is the Awu Jale. The festival route traces back to the late 1880s, originally a homemade ceremony by Muslims to the Awu Jale. Over time, it evolved into a celebration of unity, welcoming people from all walks of life. Thousands gathered to witness the famed Regbegbe parade, where different age groups, adorned in their finest attire, marched proudly bearing gifts for the Awu Jale. Horse parades with decorated steeds added to the spectacles. And also, the festival serves as a testament to the rich cultural heritage of the Ijebu people and leaves a lasting impression on all who experienced it. Now, Naomi, this was an interesting festival, I must say.
Yeah.
And according to the news, it's actually done annually, especially a week before the Muslims celebrate the Eid al-Adha.
Okay.
And it's a platform for the Muslims to pay homage to the chief, or to the king, which is the Awu Jale. Now let's discuss some of the attractions going on during the festival that is appealing to the global world.
Well,
You know, when we talk about dressing Nigerians
yes.
as Yobi, the
Yes.
gele, and imagining the different colors of
Yes.
these, how would you feel being part of this
I would definitely love to be part of this celebration. I actually saw the different attires, and I was so elated because Africa has really transitioned, and I always commend Nigerians when it comes to fashion because they are doing extremely well. They are able to manufacture their own designs, and they are able to, so they have amazing designers doing extremely well in the field of fashion designing. So seeing all of that, the rich cultural background, and then how they have modernized the culture, but still not going far away from the indigenous aspect of it, it really brought out like it was a sight to behold. It was a wonderful sight to behold.
And seeing the parade also reminded me of Ghana's Independence Day. You know, when it gets to that time, you see our market women, children, and also careers, like people from different professional backgrounds marching in their you know, beautiful attire.
The thing that really got me was seeing older women looking so young. Like you could tell that this is an older woman, but she looked so young wearing the African attire with the spectacles on, the shades and the gele. It was really nice. Like it was really
with different
nice.
colors.
Yes.
And how is this attracting the global appeal? I'll first go, you know, currently when you look at the Hollywood movies, you see that they are trying to incorporate the African culture in most of the movies. And I think this is part of the reasons of the festival actually appeals our traditional stories.
And it also educates them because some people in Europe and America think that, oh, when we are talking about Africa, we are looking, or we should be discussing, or we should be talking about the hats, the houses made with the mats and all the animals, like we live with animals in our homes. But that is not actually the case. Some people still have that, and that is because they have chosen to live that primitive way, and that is also a way of conserving the culture of that specific group. I think that you know, sometimes even during the Hollywood, like their blockbuster movie launch, premieres and all those things, they sort of, some people would want to feel like they belong to Africa, especially the blacks. So they go in for the traditional wears. So if this festival will sort of make people see the kind of attires that we have. Like I said, me, I always veer towards fashion. They'll be interested to know that, oh, if they find this fabric anywhere, they can now associate it with Africa. The specific festival, which happened in Africa. So it is actually a way to sell Africa to the other parts of the world, which I think is a very commendable thing.
And I know if you were not able to watch or experience the festival, we have a video for you. Let's take a look. That was really, really interesting to watch. dance. Let me make the dance. It goes like this. Nigerians, they have this kind of energetic dance, and I have tried several times to learn how to do the dance. Now, looking at this video, let's talk about the transmission of culture to future generations. And I saw a lady. I was really impressed seeing a lady doing the in Ghana here we call it phantom from drumming. Now, what would be your idea or your perspective when we talk about transmission culture to the future generation?
So, if this has been happening, like we mentioned, since the 1880s, and it's still happening now, it means that it's something that is passed on from generation to generation. And you could tell that, in as much as I'm sure previously they didn't have some of the aspects that we are seeing now, but it's because it has gone through some form of modernization. This was happening many years ago. It has happened so many times, but because there's now the media now projecting it, people get to see what is happening. I think that when it's happening, when this celebration is ongoing, the younger generation will see how it is done, how the parents are being involved. And looking at the rich, we saw the rich culture display there. You definitely would want to be part of it.
I was about saying that.
So if you are younger and your parents are doing these things, or your older people or your guardians are part of the celebration, you would definitely want to be part of it. And so you would go look at it, and then before you realize you've learned a few things, which you can also do for your people when you get to the age.
And so, I like the fact that they added the children to it. And according to the article, even the video, you could see kids also showcasing their art and all that. I saw a child with the art. And in the next future, I'm sure, just like you mentioned, you'll also be excited to
be part of it.
Just like how his dad wore the attire and that. Probably in the next future, there may be a change, an addition to what has happened. But then I'm sure the kids or the future generation will be happy to display this beautiful festival. What's the next story?
Well, away from that display of rich African culture, protests in Kenya have turned deadly as anger over recent tax hikes and the escalating cost of living spills into the streets. At least 3 people were killed this week, adding to the 23 reported fatalities from earlier clashes between police and demonstrators. Despite the violence, President William Ruto remains firm, stating that protests won't be tolerated as he cannot accept anarchy. The unrest, involving many youths who refers to themselves as the Gen Z, mobilized through social media and onto the streets, stems from increased taxes on essentials like
this. I don't know. This I don't even know what to say. This is really sad to hear, and actually it's happening in most of the African countries. Here in Ghana, I know there's been a demonstration, especially with tax on sanitary pad, led by I don't know who, Yvonne Nelson or so.
No, it's Honorable Francis Xavier.
Okay, and actually sanitary pad, it's something that's needed monthly. And putting a huge amount on it as tax.
It's actually so I think the price hike is something that is happening in most parts of Africa. But the thing is, there should be some form of regulation. And as much as some of these items are imported, and so we all know about the dollar rates now against like our local currencies, we see that definitely there will be some difference if the dollar rate is high. But like you mentioned, if we are importing these things, why should we have tax on them again, especially for something like sanitary pad? Because women, it's just our being. It is just natural that you go through your menstrual cycle. So if I have to now pay tax on something that I'll be using just within that period, it's actually very frustrating because some people cannot even afford the sanitary pad.
It's really bad.
And it's not just the sanitary pads, they mentioned mobile phones, petroleum, computers, and these are all things that most parts of Africa, like a lot of countries in Africa import.
So
I think it's the dollar rate that is actually affecting. But there should
there should still be increase the prices. But the tax, I don't know.
Yes, there should be some form of regulation, especially imposing taxes on them. I don't think
is a fact, and
that is. We would have a guest would like to engage a guest to give us more information on what is happening on ground in Kenya. Our guest is Miss Evelyn A. Dinda. Okay, let's take a video of the protest in Kenya, and then we'll engage our guest to tell us more about the issue. Don't go anywhere.
Having a conversation about taxes and about debts and about what we need to do about it. This is the best thing that happened to Kenya, that we are having a conversation on issues that are of the nature of our country. Today, Kenyans know there is something called finance bill. Today, Kenyans know that we have a debt problem. Today, Kenyans know that there is a connection between the taxes we raise and the services we get and the difference it makes in us not exposing our country to debt. That's a very good place to be. Let us continue this conversation. Secondly, I am also very happy because we are beginning to see institutions working in Kenya. That as the executive, we have made proposals to the legislature. The legislature have interrogated those proposals. The public has interrogated those proposals. The public have recommended, through public participation, their feelings, their ideas, their suggestions, and because the people's representatives have listened to the people through public participation, they have adjusted the proposals from the executive. And we are now going to end up in a product in Parliament that came from the executive, interrogated by the legislature. Through public participation, the people of Kenya have had a say on it. It will go to the floor of the House. And we have a very robust system of governance in Kenya. Last year, when we passed the proposals, they even went to court. The court adjusted some of the proposals we had made. In fact, they suggested to us to make a law to underwrite the housing fund, which was a positive suggestion, from our judiciary. So the fact that the executive is working, the legislature is working, the judiciary is working, institutions are working in Kenya, that is a very proud country. And I want to belong to Kenya.
That was the president's reaction to the protest that happened on the streets of Kenya. We would like to engage. So before I engage our guest for today, Isabella, we were talking about the taxes. You heard what the president said.
Yeah.
What is your take on
that?
I
think he, from what he's saying, I think he's not ready to listen to the youth out there. Probably, I think maybe the youth or those who did the demonstration, they should appoint people and then have kind of a private conversation with the president or the government, and then let them know. Well, I don't know. As a president, you should know what is going on. You should know how your people are feeling But it looks like I don't know.
I think sometimes people tend to forget that whatever action they put out there will definitely be a reaction. And if the reaction is not positive, I think there's a way to even if you're not going to listen to the youth, you should have at least find a way to make them think that there's the need to actually introduce these new taxes.
Yes.
Because then when you inspire them to believe that you have your best interest, I'm sure they would give in. I'm sure they would even stop the protest and say, okay, we agree, we are going to pay. Because if you are telling them that you are introducing these new taxes, I'm sure there'll be questions as to how the other or the previous taxes have been utilized.
I was about mentioning
you get
accountability.
it. Yes.
Transparency.
Exactly. If we do not have these things, transparency and accountability, it will be hard for the people, especially the youth, to believe that this new introduction tool will not be just like the other ones that they paid and they did not have any benefits, quote unquote.
So let me give an example. Here in Ghana, personally, when they introduced the emission tax, I like it. I was like, it's a good idea. It's going to help in some part of the country, in developing the country. But then the question, just like you mentioned, how are they going to use the tax?
Exactly.
How are they going to ensure that whatever they want to
use that money for,
yes, is going to be accounted for? And that is what is preventing people to wholly or like happily pay for the tax. And you see people dodging and not abiding by
one thing, there's this book that I read, and it said leaders actually inspire people. They don't dictate for people. So you need to be able to inspire the people that you're ruling in order for them to always do what you want them to do. Because even if it's not the right thing, because you inspire them, because you make them feel like they belong, yes, they will definitely believe in what you are doing for them, and they will think that whatever decision that you make will be in their best interest.
Yeah.
Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll engage our guests on the same story. Don't go anywhere.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
The CGC Show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC Show bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Ms. Darko, on the CGC Show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC Show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Thank you for staying with us. It still is the Hello Africa Morning Show coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities, and this is still AAU TV. And earlier we were discussing or we're talking about the protests that happened in Kenya some few days ago. And like I mentioned, we have a guest who will be helping us to get more information about the happenings in Kenya. Miss Evelyn A. Dinda is the founder for Champions for she's the founder of Champions for Change Youth Network in Kenya. Miss Dinda, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Good morning.
Okay. Kindly give us, thank you for joining us this morning. I would want you to give us more details about what is happening in Kenya. What is this new tax bill that the youth is protesting against?
The new tax bill is for the year 2024-2025. And when it was out, I think the first people that had it at first hand and tried to make the other citizens of Kenya know about it are the youth, because traditionally in Kenya it has been always for the protest or the demonstrations has always been ignited by a political group or a political association, if I can say that. So for this specific one, it started with the youth, and after going through the financial bill, they felt that it is going to have a big impact on them in a way that it has the Kenyan already suffering. They are already undergoing the high taxation. So among the things that they felt is going to be affecting them badly is about the import tax, which means that the 2.5 tax increase that is going to be on the import will badly affect them. It means that all the products that are going to be imported will have an increase in price. So this means that products like bread or just the common necessity will be of high prices. And another thing that they felt is going to really affect them is now the taxing of the content creation. It means that for you to upload something on TikTok, for you to upload something on Facebook or any social media handles, it means that you have to register, you have to pay that too. So they felt that in a way there is no end in Kenya, and many youths are out there struggling to make ends meet, and they're going to various social media handles to just get a little penny so that they can get to their lives. And now the government is coming to tax that too. So most content creators got from their comfort zone. They went on the roads, they used different models, they composed songs, and it wasn't normal as the Kenyans expected it to be. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. So, but why do you think that it was necessary to introduce this bill at this time?
At first, I don't really think it was necessary to introduce this bill, because if you look at the Kenyan people, they are already struggling. There are increase of number of people that can't even get 2 meals a day. There is problems with even accessing education because of the high fee. So introducing this bill, it means if you look at this bill at another point that there is even increase in transactional cost. It means for you to just even send 100 Bob Kenya shillings is going to be another price. There is an increase in eco levy. It means for products like the baby's nappies is going to be a hike. Products like girl sanitary towel, something that should be basic, is going to be a hike. And there is also a part that is coming that for you to own now a land in Kenya, even for the family land, the government is coming in to want to nationalize it in a way that you have to lease the land or you have to pay something at the end of the year. So for me, I don't think the bill is right, because already the Kenyan are already suffering, the youths are already suffering. So most of the posters that were initiated or were created, they wanted the bill to be scrapped off, not getting amended, because the all of the bill is so unfair and is going to bring a huge impact to the people of Kenya, especially the youths. Yeah.
Who part of the demonstration? Did you participate in the demonstration? And how can you give us a description of the scene that happened?
The scene were not so good, because normally for the demonstration that has always happened in Kenya, they always start with one region. They will always start with one tribal group or one region or one town. But for this one, it started as a joke, because the young people in Kenya now, everyone calls them Gen Z. They went to their social media handles. They educated the other youth about the component of this financial bill, and everyone felt that it was a bad thing that the Kenyan government is coming out with this bill. No one instructed them to do, no political association or no political group started this, but it's just the youth that came and educated the other ones, and they felt that when this bill is passed, it's going to be a bad thing to the people of Kenya. So they went to the social media handles, they went to the towns, and in fact, you'll be surprised that all the towns or all the counties in Kenya participated in this. So it wasn't a political demonstration. It wasn't a political protest. Everyone was involved in this. Yes.
President Ruto has taken a firm stance against the protest, labeling it as anarchy. What are the main arguments from his administration in favor of the bill?
At first, I think they felt like the young generation are just acting out of emotions or something. But then even for the media houses came to understand that they are talking about the things that they understand, they are talking about the things that they know, and they are talking about the things that they want for better Kenya. In fact, there is a positive impact right now, because among the things that the young generation or the youths were protesting against has already been dropped in the National Assembly. But even despite that, the National Assembly voted for the support of this bill.
On both sides, especially with the police involved and then the youth.
Yes, the police were involved, and more than 200 youths got arrested. A number of police also got injured. But fortunately enough, the youths that were demonstrating this time, all the youths came out. For the ones that were not on the roads, they were using their social media handles, they were using the posters, and the national government, the citizens, and even the police included, realized that it was not a normal demonstration where properties would get destroyed. This one was a little bit different because it was so peaceful. They were just singing, they were just chanting and telling the police exactly what they wanted. So for me, I think this was a better move, because normally it has always been reported that anytime the Kenyan government or the Kenyan citizen got demonstrations on the road, it will result to property destruction, which was something that was not seen in this one. And after the voting by the national government, by the National Assembly in support for this bill, the president came out to give a speech, and he talked to the youths and told them that he was happy that they were coming in, and they were taking this in a big level, and at least they are understanding the component of this financial bill 2024. So for the Kenyan youths, for me, it is a plus, because for one time the youths are coming out to understand their rights, to understand that the government also need to listen to them, and to make the other older generation that they can speak about these things without demolishing properties, or without considering the tribal groups, which is something that has always been affecting Kenya. So for this one, there was no tribal groups. The youths moved to the towns, they moved to the cities. And interesting enough, there were some businesses that would even support them, would provide them with water, despite the police trying to push them away so that they would get scattered and stop this. They never stopped. Yeah.
Such an interesting turnout of events. But based on your expertise as the founder for Champions for Youth, a Change Youth Network, what do you think would be a balanced approach to resolving this crisis that could benefit the government and also the public's demands?
For me, I think the bill should be scrapped off, because someone cannot tell you, even if it's the government, someone cannot tell you that they're going to increase. I advocate for the rights of women, advocate for the right of youth, and we advocate for economic empowerment. Statistically, youths in Kenya are already struggling. They're already struggling to have food on the table. You know, when you finish your university level, the college level, and then you realize that what is awaiting you outside the school life is not what you wanted. There is no job, you have to pay rent, you are turning 18 years, so it means you also start to develop or to depend on yourself. So for me, or for the people that I advocate for, I would ask that the bill gets scrapped off, because it has more harm to the people of Kenya. When the 2.5 tax increase is increased or is introduced in the imports, it means every other thing will increase. Movement will increase, transportation will increase, which is not something that is going to be right, because there is no system that is going to guarantee that all those tax that is getting increased will be getting back to the people of Kenya. There will be corruption involved. And when they increase the importing tax, it means most of the products that you are going to be using are not going to be standardized. In Kenya, as we speak, most products are imported. So it means the products that we'll be using will be locally made, something that might not time right. In as much as their prices is going to hike, there will be corruption involved. There will be a lot of harm.
Thank you so much, Miss Evelyn, for joining us. We hope that in the government will be able to have some negotiations with the citizens, especially the youth, on this issue. But that'll be it for the top African news stories.
Right. And before we move to the next segment, I'd like to say that I urge all the youth out there, especially in Kenya, to not give up. I mean, if they're going to tax you on posting on TikTok, that is fine, but then you should reach out. Let your voice be heard out there. It's about time our president, our government listen to us. During the weekend, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw, even in Ghana here, the youth were also demonstrating in terms of the increased price on items here in Ghana. And we need to step out there and let them listen to us. Now, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll move to the next segment, that is the top news portal review.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AAU TV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AAU TV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Thank you for sticking with us. This is Hello Africa Morning Show, proudly sponsored by Vena Water and Bigo Drinks. Now, moving to the next segment, Cuba has announced its decision to join South Africa's legal action at the International Court of Justice regarding Israel's action to the Gaza Strip. The Cuban Foreign Ministry stated that their involvement aimed to halt atrocities against the Palestinian people due to Israel's disproportionate and indiscriminate use of force. South Africa initiated the legal proceedings on December 29, 2023, citing violations of the 1948 Genocide Convention. Other countries like Chile and Spain has also joined the lawsuit. This is really interesting. Israel and Palestine. It's been a very long time.
It's been a very long time.
Gaza...
Almost a year now. It started in November, I think.
Yes. And I'm excited other countries are also joining South Africa's legal action in terms of telling the Israel to stop taking all the territory that they are trying to.
Yeah. I think it's about time that Israel listened to the other countries, because if people are now coming at you telling you that what you're doing is wrong, then it really there's a problem. So maybe they can halt with the bombing, the missiles, doing all those things, and then maybe have a discussion, have a conversation with the Palestinian government and see how best to resolve this issue, because I don't think the outcome has been great so far.
Yeah. And talking about Cuba now joining the international community, and I think Cuba has been a long supporter for the Palestinians for a very long time. And according to the Cuban Foreign Ministry, their involvement is, I think, is to halt the atrocity against the Palestinian people, and it's against their rights. You know,
Yes.
this is their territory, so why come and claim that this is yours?
We all saw what happened between Iraq and Iran.
Yeah.
We saw the impacts of it from generations to generations. So if we've seen what has happened, if we have seen the things that happened in previous years, and now Israel is sort of like inciting literally the same thing onto the Palestinian people, I think that it has to be, they need to be stopped. Regardless of whoever started it, it needs to be stopped, because it's now people are displaced, places or homes or houses or buildings that people called homes, call their offices, everything is destroyed, even hospitals. So people are now dying, they are injured, and they don't even have a place for treatment.
And this is going to affect the country.
The trauma alone, I really cannot overemphasize how traumatic it's going to be for the young ones who are actually experiencing this, because they will be traumatized such that even when they are home, even when this whole I don't want to say war, this whole conflict is resolved, they will be there scared, they will be living in their home scared, traumatized, because anything can happen at any time. And sometimes some nations may not even think of attacking you that way, but because it's happened before, Israel has done it to you, so even if I'm coming to do it to you now, it will not be anything new. So it will sort of like encourage people to take that approach in trying to like quench issues. But then I think we should always choose peace. We should think about the impact of our actions or reactions to issues when we are
now, looking at other countries also joining Chile and Spain, I think it's a very good step. There's a saying that when your neighbor is going through or going through problems, being closer to the person, or if you can offer the help or support, you should step in. And should it be successful, I think when we are mentioning countries that stepped in, you will also be identified, which is also a plus.
They're like heroes now. So I really applaud Cuba and especially Chile and Spain for joining in this suit, because then people or Israel will get to realize that they are towing the wrong lane, so they need to come back.
And just like you mentioned the traumatic aspect, I want us to also talk about some of the possible outcomes from this conflict. You know, when after everything is over, if the country, Palestine, is trying to bounce back, they're going to go through.
It's going to take years.
Like the people who are going to be, and this is one of the reasons why you see people leaving their country to other countries,
They've lost everything. Someone has lost literally the whole family, and will just be there alone. So even
how
if
is the person going to survive?
Exactly, they would rather go to a different country to suffer there than to be in their own homeland and suffer. I mean, it's very traumatic.
So to our Israeli citizens, please and please, we are begging you, please listen to the South Africa's legal action and let there be peace.
Away from that story, reports from the BBC has said that Michael Usi, a prominent comedian turned politician, has been sworn in as Malawi's vice president at the ceremony in Lilongwe's parliament. The 55-year-old replaces Saulus Chilima, who tragically died in the plane crash earlier this month. Dr. Usi, known for his popular TV character Maganya, received a standing ovation at his inauguration, expressing both sadness and gratitude for his new role. His appointment has sparked mixed reactions among Malawians, with some questioning his suitability due to his acting background, while others praised President Lazarus Chakwera for upholding the alliance with Chilima's party. We also the tragic death of the vice president of Malawi, and now we found his replacement. We found someone to replace him or to step in for him, and then the country is divided now. Some people think that the person who is Michael Usi is not suitable for the role. Others also think that the president upholding the alliance or his alliance with Chilima's party actually shows that he actually holds him in high esteem. But what do you make of this story?
Well, first of all, why are they questioning his position? This is not his first time being in politics. I mean, he has been the Minister of Tourism and also the Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change. So probably his work showed that he fits for that position. So I don't see anything wrong with a comedian or someone in the showbiz industry. I mean, taking a political career or having that high position. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in Ghana.
Yes.
Somebody like John Dumelo was able to transition
and
from...
even Obo.
Obo, yes. Some of our entertainment personalities have been able to transition from their roles now into politics. And I think that sometimes we should also look at what the person can do. The person already has influence. So to use their role as a way to influence the government's decision on the things to do for the youth, I think is a very commendable thing. So, and we are asking for more youth participation. So I think this is something that we shouldn't just say because he was a comedian. I mean, he's a comedian turned politician. So I believe there was some form of inspiration for him. There was some form of motivation, some drive for him to do politics now. And so if he's been given the chance, I mean, let us just support him and hope that he can do the job that has been assigned him.
And if he was able to attract more people, especially the youth, to him or when he was a comedian, and then I think this platform is also a good opportunity for the youth to also be involved. And if they are questioning his position now, then where is inclusivity?
Exactly.
How are they including us? Does it mean if I'm in the showbiz, I cannot participate in any political? No.
And it's not just that. It's not as if he was just moved from being a comedian to taking that role. I mean, he was the Minister for Tourism and the Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change. So he's holds some form of power before transitioning into vice president. So I believe that he can actually do the job.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's just support him.
Exactly. And probably I'll also be aspiring to be the vice
All the
president.
best. All the best.
Vice president of Ghana. And just like you mentioned, even in Ghana, John
Dumelo is doing
and he's
doing
standing as an MP.
Yes.
A member of parliament for Ghana.
Yeah.
So his fans out there, please do
And
well.
even some of the entertainment personalities, like Yvonne Nelson. Yvonne Nelson was on the streets of Accra protesting against the power outages that we experiencing. And she's done it before and it was she's done it before and it was successful. We've seen entertainment personalities, we've seen people use their platforms to make some form of positive impact in the community or society. So I think that we should just support him and believe the president's decision in electing him or appointing him to take over His Excellency Saulu's position. May he so rest in perfect peace.
Yeah. And moving to the next story, South Africa's University of Pretoria has launched the Future Africa Initiative, a groundbreaking Pan-African platform for collaborative research. Unlike typical university research entities, Future Africa aims to foster cooperation across disciplines, institutions, and geographic boundaries to tackle global challenges requiring transformative solutions. Now, celebrating its 5th anniversary, Future Africa's research domain include One Health, sustainable food systems, science and technology systems, sustainability transformations, global equity, and soon, youth education, employment, and empowerment. Future African Initiative. It's a very good initiative,
yes,
I must say, because I don't think I have seen a research platform or a research initiative that tries to bring other. Probably there are other.
I'm sure.
But I think for them to identify other stakeholders trying to bring them into the research initiative, I think is very
Yeah, I think it's literally the same as what the AAU has, which is the AFRID network.
Okay.
And then we also have the African network. The African is African Quality Assurance Network, which seeks to bring together all quality assurance practitioners on board to research research into how best the higher education sector or area can be would have that quality that they seek to have. So I think it's a commendable act, and it's the same thing that we have as AAU, the AFRID network, bringing together researchers. But I am actually happy about the One Health.
Yes.
I know you are helped by us, so I know you are helped by us.
I was happy they mentioned in quotes One Health because actually One Health has been one of the topical issues during the COVID-19 era, and I think it's a very good thing. We must pay particular attention to it because we realize that before an infection or a disease will come out there, it is not just from one person to another person. There are some diseases that transform from animal to humans, from the environment to humans, from humans to environment, and even from humans to the animals. Yes. So bringing all these people together, I think I have done an editorial on health and One Health, demonstrating how impactful or how beneficial and crucial it is to us if we want solutions to diseases. Then it shouldn't be just one sector. We should identify all these sectors and then bring them on board so that when we are finding solutions to this, we also have another solutions to this and this. And then it will be a final solution.
And I actually like their research domains focusing on addressing global challenges. Like we saw sustainable food systems, science and technology systems, sustainability transformation, global equity, and youth education, employment and empowerment. With all, I think in Africa, it is one thing that the youth is struggling with, or the youth are struggling with, because some of them finish their higher education, like college, the first degree, the master's, and it's so hard for them to get employed. So if their research will focus on youth education, employment, and empowerment, I think it's a very commendable thing, and we need to back them and give them all of the support.
Yes, talking about support, and I would say that the government of each country participating in this initiative should fully support, because I am undertaking the project, the SEAD project, and as part of our research, we realize that most of these researchers, they're out there doing the job, but they're not being supported. The government comes in after they've seen that, okay, these people have done something, and then that's when they will come in.
Even that, even with that, I have a question. What is the long-term plan?
Yes,
what are the sustainability processes? What are the steps that we are taking to ensure that whatever research has been done is sustained?
And we don't know who is funding this. I just hope it is not the Western countries supporting this, because most times when they are done with the research, they take it back, and then they will come with their market introduced to us, and we purchase it. But I'm hoping that this should be our own research initiative.
And even the countries not participating can actually look at this initiative and replicate same in their countries. Away from that story, Niger's military government has revoked the operating license of French nuclear fuel producer Orano at the Imurarian uranium mine, one of the world's largest uranium reserves. This decision underscores the strained relations between Niger's junta, which seized power in the coup last year, and France, the former colonial ruler. The junta has pledged to sever ties with the West, reviewing mining concessions and expel Western troops. Orano in Niger for over 50 years stated its willingness to maintain communication, but may pursue legal action against the license withdrawal. Isabella.
Yes.
What is your take on this story, actually?
Well, I don't know the decision for this. Already before the military took over the government. I think they made a promise to the citizens that they are going to ensure to stop all Western countries, Western relationship, Western, in and out things going on in the country. They're going to stop it. So I think this is one of it, trying to let the people know that we are going to fulfill our promises. However, let's look at the consequences of this. It's a good initiative. To me, I think maybe, probably, I would say that after sacking them, they should, because I know they sacked them, the people are not doing something. And when I read ahead, or when I looked at other articles on this story, it made mention that then when we talk about labor force, and then the law or regulations on rights for the labor, and also paying salaries and all that, the people were complaining that these people do not treat us well. So I think that is the main reason why they are sacking them and also stopping them from operating. So if they should sack them, or if they are able to achieve whatever they want to do, probably they can take another step and then bring them back. And this time it is going to go according to deals.
Like I get your concern, and I share your sentiments, because if you are sacking the people who have been operating for over 50 years, do you think, that's the question to the president, I mean the leader, I am just asking, do you think that your people, your citizens, will be able to carry on what the people were doing? I mean, so we need to look at capacity building. If you're going to sack them, I think that it will be best for some form of training to happen or to hold before there will be that transition, so that there will not be no break. Because if you take them out, what will become of the project? Because the people will not have the necessary skill to upskill.
And I'm sure the company was also contributing to the government development of, in terms of paying tax, corporate social responsibilities and all that. So probably they should think of bringing them back, but this time on their terms. If you're coming, this and this is what you have to do.
But what if the people say they do not agree to the terms?
Then probably you go. You go, and then we'll find our ways and means to continue. Yes, I mean, when you are coming, this is my land. You are coming to do something.
But you do not have the skill. You do not have the skill.
I understand.
I have the skills. I have the people. You want to now take over from me.
No, probably you don't have just the people. You are also tapping into my people working for you.
Yes, but you know, most of the time for companies like these ones, they will be doing the labor work. We need people who can think strategically, they can think of innovative ideas to implement, to ensure that the company runs into success.
Who says we don't have people to do that?
No, I'm just questioning, because they have been operating for over 50 years, meaning that over 50 years, they have had sole ownership of that company. So the people have not really been involved. Even if they had been involved, I'm sure it will be on the ground level. So there should be some form of capacity building before the transition.
We don't know what the government is planning on. Probably they should not accept them. Let's see how it goes. But I would advise that they bring them back, but then on a good terms and deals with to ensure that both sides are in good terms. You know, and I think I saw that the company wants to sue them. I mean, wants to take legal action against them, taking their license from operating in the country. So I hope to hear more from these stories. Now we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we shall continue the discussion. Stay tuned.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.
The CGC show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC show, bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Mr. Ko, on the CGC show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You're welcome back from the break, and thank you for staying with us. And just like I said earlier, this is Hello Africa Morning Show. Moving to the lifestyle segment today, we are taking fashion to the next level. Yes, we are going to talk about Balini Naidu, who is a South African fashion designer trying to revolutionize the industry with her chic, inclusive fashion for visually impaired individuals. So, Balini's innovative design not only cater to the unique needs of the visually impaired, but also radiate styles and sophistication, with the World Health Organization estimating that around 40 to 45 million people are blind and 135 million have low vision. Balini's work is both groundbreaking and also essential. Her brand, Balini, goes beyond fashion by giving back. A portion of every sale supports innovation for the blind, an NGO based in Worcester, South Africa, dedicated to improving the lives of visually impaired individuals. I like fashion, and not just fashion, but then trying to also give back to the community. And thanks to Balini's for that. This is the first time I have seen someone thinking about the social, like the visually impaired, or people who are not.
So now it brings me to this question. So previously, the fashion designers who were designing clothes, does it mean that they were not inclusive? They were not thinking about inclusivity? Because if the blind people, is it that they couldn't feel the design, or they couldn't tell what the design was? Because I'm trying to picture how different is this from what has been happening over the years.
Talking about the question, I thought you were also coming to. I thought you were coming to talk about what is in my mind. You know, most times when you go out there to buy a dress, like what I'm wearing now, I look at the size. I look at what has been, like what is written on it. Probably you'll be wearing something that is against your tradition or your culture. So I look at the size. I look at the colors. Does it blend or does it match to my complexion? I look at the print and all that, even the style. Now, thinking about the visually impaired, how were they getting their dress? Looking at the size, how where they get, is it that they try it on and look at, okay, it fits me, and that is it. And I think this is a very good initiative. And when you look at the fashion design, it also, when you look at the size, you can, if you are visually impaired and you touch,
you can tell.
Yes, you can tell.
But
the
how
size,
would you know your size as a visually impaired person?
That's a good question.
How would you know that? Yes, this I'm supposed to wear medium.
Okay. So yes, and okay. So the size is written on it. Probably I know this is small. But hold on, I will try it. Then I know that I am not small. Then I go for large. I'm trying being visually impaired, right? I go for large. So with that, as time goes, I know that okay, I am large. So whenever next time I am going to buy, and it's something the fashion designers should also think of. Say, fine, you are not looking at, they are not your target audience, but probably someone may like your brand, may have been hearing, being visually impaired doesn't mean I don't hear of what you do. And I'll be interested in purchasing some, but I don't know what is written on. I don't know how the brand is. So if you can be able to transcribe in our language for us, I think it's a very good initiative.
So it means that the designs, the print, whatever designs that will be on it, the blind people can actually
yes, you can read from it, and
so
also the sizes and even the color and even the material used, whether cotton, whether polyester or
wow, this is very commendable. This is
she's really done it very good, and also thinking about them and then giving back to the
them.
community is also a very good initiative, and I must say congratulations. She should keep doing that. And also it goes to our fashion design.
Yes. Now to some entertainment news. Nollywood bids another adieu to one of its brightest stars, Amaichi Munago, who was laid to rest on Friday in his hometown of Obosi, Anambra State. The veteran actor's passing has left a profound void in the hearts of his family, colleagues, and fans alike, marking the end of an era in Nigerian cinema.
This is not the first time we've lost someone. Taibu was buried not long ago, and this and others. So, they are old, old ages. I mean, playing part of this, but somehow I think the industry is also not helping the legend or the people who used to.
Yes, because I think he was ill for a very long time.
And how did they support? How were they there for? And looking at these people, I have known them from childhood. They made me happy. I like to watch Nigerian movies and all that. And when I saw his pictures when he was sick, I was like, no, is this him?
The same thing with Mr. Ibu. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this man made us happy during our childhood days. I mean, and this man, he's one of my mom's favorite actors, actually. So it's actually, I'm sure she's not happy about this at all.
It is a sad story, I must say, and I think we need to find ways and means to support the actors and actresses in this industry.
One thing I liked about this man's acting was the fact that he almost always spoke their local language. If he wants to insult you, whenever he wants to insult you, he will just
have to divert from
English to his local dialect so that he can give you the insult.
I'm sure sometimes he even goes off the script just to act himself.
And he was always like, when you give him the role, he plays it so well. Always in character, like he doesn't break character.
And I know we can't replace people, but losing these type of people, these types of people, how are we going to enjoy Nigerian
now
movies?
I even watch local movies and I'm like, aside from the ones that are on Netflix, which of course a lot of money or investments go into it, you see these ones on television and you're like, where are our legends? Because they were giving us like great content. The acting was so real. You would literally think like that's their character in real life. Because I know the likes of Patience Ozoko, a lot of people thought her to be mean because she was always playing that role. Chewa in Ghana, a lot of people thought she was a witch because she played that role so well. And they are known for such roles. I'm just asking myself so many questions. I'm like, so these younger ones, these upcoming actors, are they really investing in their craft? Are they trying as much as possible to polish it just as the older generation did? We just hope that they'll be able to become legends like the ones that we've lost.
And I think it's also advisable, though they are old, being old doesn't mean that was their passion. You could see from their acting. So I think it's advisable the youth also try to engage them, at them, let us see them, let us feel them even before, because I didn't see him acting for a very long time.
So if you're a young producer, if you're a young director, movie director, try as much as possible to bring the legends on board in your movies. You can star them in your movies, and then the younger generations, as parts of the cast, can learn from them and be able to grab some knowledge before they depart this earth.
And still on entertainment, Paris Fashion Week Men's Spring Summer 2024 showcased a vibrant fusion of style and culture in Nigerian musicians and other African celebrities, taking the spotlight alongside global icons at Louis Vuitton's presentations. Burna Boy, Stonebwoy, Thames, Wizkid, Jada Pallock, Adekunle Gold, Rema, and Tobe Inwingwe graced the catwalks of Paris Fashion Week, showcasing diverse designs from Louis Vuitton's latest collection. Now, these Nigerian stars also occupied front row seats at the UNESCO courtyard in Paris, alongside global celebrities such as Didier Drogba, Stormzy, Uncle Waffles, Baloji, and Omar Sy. Right. I know you would be interested to watch what happened. So let's watch the video.
J'avoue, je vis dans l'excès. Pour des petits trajets sur le féfé, je préfère mieux ça que l'audit tété. Donc, Spider pour cet été, je suis toujours cloué chez Cartier. Sac Kelly pour les choquer. Ce soir, c'est mon trophée.
That's really impressive to watch, and I would like to give a background about this fashion event. So Paris Fashion Week is a biannual highlight in the global fashion calendar, featuring huge couture shows in January and July, and ready-to-wear shows typically in late February, March, and late September, October. It is renowned for its electrifying atmosphere, showcasing the pinnacles of beauty and creativity in the fashion world. Designers from all corners of the globe converge to debut their latest collection, setting trends on prestigious catwalks. Now, looking ahead, the men's fashion collections for Spring Summer 2025 are slated for June 18 to 2024, followed by the women's collection from September 23 to October 1, 2024. That means there are more to come.
Yes.
And you saw the fashion. What will be your rating?
I'm going to give Africa, or the Africans who represented as a solid 100 over 10, because it wasn't just 10 over 10. I mean,
100 over 10.
100 over 10.
And what's the 10 for that?
It's over the skill. It's over the skill, because I mean, previously we were not given that opportunity. We were not getting, let me just say, we were not getting such platforms to showcase what Africa has. And it should tell you how Afrobeats has transitioned from just being on the African continent to the world. In fact, the Westerners have actually embraced Afrobeats.
Yes.
Some of them are doing R&B.
Azunto, dance, and
you can literally interview a Western artist, and he or she would tell you that, oh, I'm an Afrobeat R&B. Afrobeat is from Africa. So how did you get? It's because they've embraced the culture. And for them to actually recognize these artists who make Afrobeats to be represented there in the Fashion Week in Paris, I think it's a very, I'm actually happy to see it happening.
Yes.
And you can tell, you saw the costumes that these artists wore.
Yeah, and actually, I think it's also a business move.
Yes.
You know, these artists, they kind of showcase a fashion collections when doing their music videos and all that. So I think this is also a business. Probably if I'm a musician and I participated in your fashion week, and maybe you give me an attire, and I like it.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm going to feature you.
And they played, most of the songs that they played were African. Because I remember there was this video where Adenkule Gold was dancing to his music being played in the background when people were doing the catwalk.
Wow.
It was so nice.
Wow.
And everybody, all the artists, the other artists around him were just shaking. Yeah, I mean, they were shaking hands, they were congratulating him because it's actually very previously, but now it's really something that's common now. But previously, you would barely hear African music played in the West. But now, Afrobeats, especially Afrobeats, African music is being played everywhere. And for them to actually recognize them and play the music while they were there, was a beautiful
now,
thing.
I'm talking about engaging the musicians or artists into fashion. I was looking out to see Black Sherif. You know, currently, when you see his trends, his style of dressing, it looks like, well, I don't know if he wants to come out with a clothing line or he wants to be a model. I don't know.
He's an artist, and I think his brand is to be a high fashion street style model as well.
Okay,
that is probably his, because I'm saying this based off of my own observation, because his pieces are very rare. It's not like they are not things that you would see any artist doing. The way he puts, because just recently he was promoting his music, Kilos and Milos or so, and it was, I think, trousers with some mini skirts and the vintage belt and a jacket and a corset. And people were like, how is a man wearing a corset? And I said, it's Blacko. What do you expect? I mean,
probably I think they should also feature him in such platforms.
I think he modeled for Balenciaga also last year. Yes, he did. He's modeled for some of these big brands.
Then
so he's been promoting his new song, so probably he was engaged. That was why he wasn't represented. But Stonebwoy was there to represent Ghana.
Yeah. I saw him in his white. And
yes.
That was really nice.
It looked so good. And I like Uncle Waffles. She was, I think, the only DJ there, and it was a sight to behold because Uncle Waffles is a female. She's a female DJ.
With Uncle.
She's called Uncle Waffles, and she's a DJ from. She's actually originally from Swaziland.
Okay.
But a lot of people actually think that she's from South Africa. You know, Swaziland and South Africa are quite. Yeah, she's from Swaziland, and the way she's been able to mix or to blend DJing, her DJing skills with dancing. Because when she's DJing, she's not just playing the music for you to dance. She's also partying. She's also enjoying what she's doing for you. So obviously, if you have to book somebody like her, she's definitely going to give you a good show.
Yes.
And the way she was able to transition, she
one music.
Yes, and she's not just a DJ. She does songs too. She produces songs and all of that. There's this popular song that's trending now. Wadibusa Wadibusa. Yeah, she actually composed that song. She did that song with another artist, and it's trending. That's like the summer jam for the Westerners and even the South Africa. And the way she was able to present herself at the show, her costume, her hairstyle, everything was just on point. And I was like, oh, these artists are not just artists. They are not just personalities who come and do their job. They actually understand fashion.
Yes, and they engage.
Yes,
they
participate.
Fully.
It was so nice. I liked her hairstyle, like particular. I liked the hairstyle and then her jeans, the way she put all the pieces together. It came out really nice. And Thames also looked so good. Thames,
for her,
Thames looked so good.
It's something she's been doing
with her. I don't know if it's like the taekwondo belt and the jackets, the long jackets and the trousers.
That is Thames for us.
Yes,
that is.
She did it. She did
it. And just like you mentioned, I think DJs and using Uncle Waffles as an example, you need to let the audience know what you're doing because they are looking at you.
Yes.
Though we may like the music, but then your actions, your attitude towards your work is also going to attract.
Imagine I come to play music for you and I'm not dance, I'm just playing.
Or maybe nodding your head. I also be nodding my head, and then we'll all be going left
But
and right.
she
and left.
literally has choreographers. She moves with choreographers.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Sometimes she'll be playing the music, and then she'll come
to the
together with
stage
a
and dance.
with a, oh, so beautiful. So
Right,
beautiful.
and that is all for our entertainment segment. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll move into the interactive viewer engagement. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AAU TV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AAU TV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
The CGC show is back on your screens. This season on the CGC show bring you nothing short of interesting and of course educative interviews. We are going to delve into the areas of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We will get interactive with our professional and well-experienced guests to educate us on how to attain the career path you have been dreaming of in TVET. On the show, we focus mainly on highlighting career opportunities and job prospects available in the program you are studying or yet to read at the tertiary level. Better yet, we help you understand that whatever venture you are in can contribute to the economic development of our beautiful continent. Join me, Ms. Darko, on the CGC show on AAU TV as I engage experts and professionals to help build and nurture your career. The CGC show, your trusted pathway to your dreams.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Vena Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Thank you for still tuning in. It still is the Hello Africa morning show on AAU TV, and we have been discussing some top African news stories. We did some news portal review, as well as lifestyle and entertainment. And now we are going to delve into sports, and I'm going to do this with Philemon Edwards.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? You look dapper.
It's a Monday.
Yeah.
You can show up anyhow.
Yeah.
You look good too.
Thank you. Thank you. What do you have for us today?
The thing we are going to talk about mostly today is Euros
the
2024.
Euros. Okay.
Because there's a lot happening. So much. Unfortunately, some other issues with, let me say, injuries. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I think I saw some of the matches. I think I saw Portugal with some team.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was Denmark as well. I don't really like sports, but I watched I watched snippets of it actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the highlights.
Well.
But fill me in.
Yes, I'll do just that. Just that. Anyway, so we are, let me say, we just finished the second round of matches from over the weekend.
Yeah.
So second round of matches for all the groups. And then last night, Germany began the third round.
Okay.
Where by the time we are done with the third round, we will know all of the groups or the teams that have qualified for the round of 16. So there's a round of 16 before the quarterfinals.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So you do the round of 16 before the quarterfinals.
So how many teams are playing?
In all, you have 32 teams playing.
Wow.
So what's going to happen now is that in the Euros, there are 6 groups for all the teams. By the time they are done with the first round, what you get is about 12 teams qualifying, but you need 16 teams to play in the round of 16. That's why they call it the round of 16.
Okay.
So what happens next is that if you have a team that is playing better or has, let's say, a better point, some goal differences that will favor them based on how they have performed, they will fill up the final 4 slots to make up the 16 teams.
That's why it's necessary to score more goals.
Exactly.
Ah, okay, I now get it.
So that, you know how sometimes when Ghana plays football and then we are in tournaments and then we are at that point where
you just need a goal.
You need a goal or you need a draw.
Okay.
Then, we start making the noise about calculators and yes, that's exactly how it looks like in this tournament as well. And so far it's looking good. For example, Portugal, Germany and Spain, they qualified straight away because they won their first 2 matches in their groups.
I think I watched the Spain match as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they have qualified and they are okay. Unfortunately, Poland was the first team to be eliminated. And for Poland, it's a shame because their star man, Lewandowski, more or less like didn't look like he came for this tournament because he hasn't shown anything really,
He didn't show that commitment.
Exactly. He let me just say he didn't show up for this tournament.
Maybe he wasn't really prepared. There was no injury whatsoever.
Well, he had an injury a few days to the start of the tournament.
Then probably that's why. So we cannot judge him.
No, but I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I can agree with you. But the thing is that his injury was not so severe because a few days to the tournament was a friendly match, I think, against Turkey. They won that game, though. But he was sent off around the 33rd minute in the first half with a thigh muscle injury. But after the game, his coach confirmed that it was not so much of a serious injury. That's how come he has featured in the first 2 games. So I don't think the injury is so much of a problem. But he didn't have a great season before we came into the Euros as well. He plays with Barcelona now. I think he has had the best of his career behind him already when he used to play with Bayern Munich before he transferred to Barcelona now. So but unfortunately for them, they have been eliminated. So it is what it is. I mean, somebody has to go home.
To go
somebody
for someone
has to
win.
So that's what is happening with Poland. And Scotland last night, they put up a fierce fight against Hungary. And that game was so intense because in their group, their games were, let me say, between Hungary and Scotland. If any of them had won their game, it would have been a very difficult thing in terms of qualification because Germany already had qualified. Switzerland had points where if anybody between Hungary and Scotland had won their game, it could affect them. So I think that Scotland and Hungary had a chance. Right now, Hungary has the upper hand because they succeeded in winning their game, the game against Scotland. It was almost a 0-0 draw, but they came up with a win. And Scotland, unfortunately, had to go home. So let's say they are the second team that has been eliminated. And they haven't gone past group stages in the European Championship. So this time, they were hoping that they would qualify. But unfortunately, they couldn't make it. And I'm sad for their captain, Robert, what's his name again? Robertson. Andy Robertson. He's a Liverpool guy because I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'm sad for him. But on the other hand, the captain of the Hungarian team, Dominic Szoboszlai, is also a Liverpool player. So
imagine
I was in the mix between the 2 teams. But I think that the better team won. That's Hungary because they showed more hunger, like their name says, Hungary. They showed more hunger, and then they won the game. But unfortunately, there was an incident in the game. One of the strikers, Barnabas Vaga, around the 70th minute, he had a clash with the Scottish goalkeeper. I think it was a free kick that was flown into the penalty box, and then the goalkeeper was trying to punch it, and then he also jumped to try to head it, and then there was a collision. Unfortunately, Vaga went down, let's just say almost in a concussion. So he left the pitch on a stretcher and straight to the hospital. And according to the news we have so far, he's in a stable condition. That's the good thing. But he was taken straight to the hospital. So it means that it was a serious, usually an injury will be treated on the pitch. He'll be on the bench, probably go up, but he was taken straight to the hospital. So we just hope that he would recover, but there's going to be a surgery to correct whatever is wrong, because we understand it is a fracture.
We pray that he gets better.
Yeah, we pray that he gets better. Still on the Euros, later tonight, there's a game I cannot wait to watch. That's between Croatia and Italy.
I think I've seen just one match.
Okay.
Yes.
Between these two,
yes,
teams.
I think it was Italy. I've not seen any Croatian match.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Croatia is not really performing too well in this tournament. And in my opinion, I think that the team needs a bit of an overhaul. People like Luka Modric, who is 38 years old, the captain of the team. He's done so well. I mean, I think that he has paid his dues for his country, and him alongside players like Perisic, these guys I think have served the country well, and they probably need to start giving space to
sort of like give technical advice and so, and
probably
make other people rather play.
Exactly, give younger players the opportunity. That's what I think, because in this tournament they don't
seem to
show up the way they are supposed to be showing up. So I think personally, because of that, is affecting their game, because there is an over-reliance on Modric. And Modric has had a very good season with Real Madrid. He's won the La Liga, he's won the Champions League again. And he's quite an influential player. Because of his age, he probably doesn't play maybe from the beginning of most of the matches when he was playing in the La Liga. But what happens is that anytime he's on the pitch, there's a difference. So it just tells you the kind of player he is. But I think that because there's just about one of him in the Croatian side, it makes it more difficult for him to perform.
Yeah.
When you're playing in a team like Real Madrid, you have other options like Toni Kroos.
Yes.
In the midfield, you have Tchouaméni, all of these guys supporting you. But when you have just the likes of Modric alone, you have Kovacic as well. But Modric, I think, is being dependent on too much. And so he's not able to... Exactly. It's beginning to be like a burden. So he's given his best, but it's not... I think it's not enough.
It's not enough
to get Croatia to where they need to get to in the tournament.
So they're playing tonight. What time?
They are playing at 7 p.m. with Italy. It's going to be a tasty game. And let me just give you a snippet of what their their group looks like. So at least you can appreciate why that match is a tasty game tonight. So Spain is you can't wait to taste it. No problem. So Spain is on the top of the table with 6 points. Italy has 3 points. Albania has 1 and Croatia has 1.
Okay.
So now between Italy and Croatia, assuming Croatia is able to win against Italy, that gives them 4 points. Which will bring Italy down from the second point. Then it means Croatia will be in the second position. Wow. So that will probably make them qualify. So it's a must-win game for Croatia if they want to qualify. Italy has a win already. That's why they have 3 points. So possibly if they draw, they can go through. But I feel like there's a tricky thing here, because Spain and Albania will play as well. Albania cannot be sidelined, because in the first game with Italy, they stand Italy scoring the fastest goal in Euro. In 23 seconds, Albania had scored.
How?
That was last week Saturday.
I would love to see the highlights of that.
Good. So you cannot sideline Albania. But the thing is that because Spain has already qualified, there's a chance Albania might want to take advantage of the fact that Spain will not play its best players.
And then
Albania will probably win that game. So this game tonight, and while Italy and Croatia are playing, Spain and Albania will be playing as well. Same time.
Same time.
Concurrently. What happens with the third round of matches is that if they are not being played concurrently, some teams could take advantage of
the
another person's
yeah.
win or weakness.
Okay.
So they play those matches almost concurrently so that no team knows what is going on the other
I would
end.
watch the tasty one.
Exactly. So the tasty one is what everybody is watching out for.
Watch
So
that one.
Italy and Croatia, let's see how that works this evening and who will join Spain to go into the round of 16. Last night, Germany in their game against Switzerland, Germany had already qualified. But interestingly, I like what their coach did. He did play his best player still.
Okay.
He didn't give them a rest because the trick is that he wanted to be on top of the table.
Okay. I think I only watched Germany. Did Germany play with Belgium?
No, they haven't played.
They played with one team, and I wanted the other team to win.
Why did you want the other team to win?
You know, I actually do not. I'm not finding this Euro 2024 so interesting until you gave me these insights, because I feel like we are making the big teams be big.
Well,
it's about time the other team also step up. I mean, I would want like a less prominent team to also do better, to beat, like Portugal was playing with one team, and I wanted the other team members to win so badly, because I was like, we all know Portugal. I mean, 0 is playing. So you should, if you score just 1 goal and they are unable to draw with you guys, it's a big win for you. Even if you don't go through to the next round, it's a big win for you. You can say that, oh, you beat this these big teams. But it's like they are playing the game as though these people are big guys, so let's just give them space. That is how I see the whole thing.
I agree with you. I agree. I mean, I also sometimes feel the same, because I tend to think that you need to see,
step up.
You need to see some of these teams step up, and then it makes the games interesting. Because then these teams are more like underdogs. So when for example, the Italy-Albania game, when Albania scored first, like it turned the heat around. Italy knew that they had to step up, and it made the game interesting. But sadly, Albania lost the game anyway.
Imagine.
Yes, unfortunately. So that's what makes it interesting playing against a big team. So sometimes when you're trying to support the underdogs, you are disappointed. But the thing is that it makes the games interesting. The dynamics of the games will change. You know, so these are some of the dynamics that play come to play.
Portugal played with one team, and the team scored first. And I was so happy. I was so happy because I was like, oh, they're finally doing it.
I'll find that
details
Portugal
for you, came, they scored 1, they drew with them, and then later scored, which was even rejected after they had done the VAR thing. And then they scored again. I was like,
well, that's what makes the difference for the big teams, because when you have the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, you have Bruno Fernandes, you have Bernardo Silva in a team, you have Pepe.
These guys started from somewhere.
Yes.
So you also need to step up and get to the level. I mean, you cannot always be an underdog.
Look, I do agree with you on some of these issues, but football will always be football. Sometimes you have the underdogs surprising the big teams, and other times, and it has happened to Belgium. We'll talk about that a bit later. Belgium is one of the biggest teams in football at the moment, and they were stunned in their first game against Slovenia. They lost. Yeah, they lost 1-0 against Slovenia. It was a shock. It was a shock.
I watched one of the games and I think they won. So Lukaku scored the final goal.
In their second game, they played against who did they play against? Let me find that. But they won that game.
Yes, they won that game. I think I watched that one.
Yeah, and I feel like these are some of the things we're just talking about. Because they lost to Slovenia in the first game, they turned up the heat in the second game, which made them win, because they needed the win to stay in the competition. And that group, the details of that group is such that it's made a difference. Now, all the teams in that group have 3 points each.
Wow.
At the end of the second round of games. So for them, qualification is really open to anyone. So anybody that wins their game automatically has qualified. So it's more of a win for everybody in those games that are left. I think that should be Group F.
This is when the I don't know if it's an idiom or the expression, if you snooze, you lose.
Thank you.
Comes in.
So that's Group E,
you
rather,
all
not
need to
Group
come
F.
with your A game.
Exactly, with your A game. So that's in Group E. So Romania has 3 points,
Okay.
Belgium has 3 points, Slovakia has 3 points, Ukraine has 3 points. So in this one, anybody that wins in the next round of matches, which is the last one, because all of the teams will be playing concurrently, automatically qualify. So it's a must win for all of these games when it is happening. So I mean, I like how the games are turning up, and there are so many goals also happening, and I like the kind of goals that are coming. For me, my take home between the African Cup of Nations, I'm trying to compare the two, is the quality of goals that you see. I like the last AFCON because there were several goals in it, but the quality of goals are the things that I want to see in the AFCON.
African,
Yeah, because you know, sometimes people argue that because some of these people go to play in Europe, you are playing in a European club, so most of the time the European teammates dominate the clubs ahead of the African players. But that's where the quality comes in.
Yes.
So I that's what I'm seeing between these two tournaments.
I see a lot of Ghanaians also playing.
Oh yes.
I hear the name and I'm like, is that not supposed to be a Ghanaian? Yes, he's playing for this team. And I'm like, why are they not coming to the Black Stars?
Well, that's a question for the gods. It's a matter we would have to go into. I mean, let me just say, it's a subject for discussion for another day. Because the Ghanaian players, they're okay. So in the tournament, in the championship, there are about 50 players of African descent playing, but there are about 10 players who are of Ghanaian origin.
Yeah.
And it is interesting.
There are many in the game.
I mean, the names are there. Jeremy
almost
Doku, there's a Duya playing for Switzerland.
There's one Saka, and I'm told he's Nigerian.
Yeah, Saka is not.
And I'm like,
so there are about 7 players.
Saka in Ghana.
Yeah, Saka. Is a Ghanaian name and at the same time is a Nigerian.
Okay.
But the Saka is of Nigeria. Nigeria has about 7 players.
Yes.
In the tournament. Let me see African players. You know.
They're about
in the tournament. Players of African origin from Nigeria. Yeah.
Well, I think that will be all for sports for this week.
Okay.
We'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you a rundown of everything that has happened, and then we'll wrap up. Do stay tuned.
Right.
I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AAU TV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AAU TV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
This is Hello Africa on AAU TV.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV.
Well, and this is the end of today's edition on Hello Africa. Naomi, can you give us a rundown of what was discussed?
Yes, so we've had some reviews on our top African stories. We talked about a fashion designer ensuring that there's inclusivity, making clothes for the blind, and also giving back to the community in South Africa. We also discussed the rich display of culture during the celebration of the one activity in Nigeria.
Yes.
We saw those videos. We also discussed and actually engaged the guests to give us more information about the happenings in Kenya, the youth protesting against some taxes that have been imposed on some of their products like petroleum, sanitary pads, and other mobile phones and computers. And we also had some lifestyle. Yeah, we had some lifestyle. Isabella gave us some lifestyle.
Yes, where a fashion designer actually took fashion into the next step, considering the visually impaired.
And entertainment, in the world of entertainment, we discussed Africa's representation in the Paris Fashion Week that happened over the weekend.
And most interesting is the incorporation of sports
Yes.
into today's discussions by Philemon. And if you just joined and you missed our discussion, you can watch this full video on our social media handles, particularly on Facebook and YouTube, on the Association of African Universities. And this program is proudly sponsored by Vena Water. Share the life. I always say, when you purchase Vena Water, you are not just quenching your thirst. However, you're also impacting on someone's life, because a percentage is dedicated to the less privileged people. And also Biko drinks, if you want something refreshing, something to, keep you on the move, remember to buy Biko drinks. They have varieties of flavors. They have orange, they have lemon, and even the cocktail. So do also purchase Biko Drinks. Thank you to Vena Water and Biko Drinks for supporting this program. My name is Isabella. But before you mention your name, hold on. Next week is a Republic Day, and we've got interesting stories and discussions for you. So please make sure you tune in to discuss. Please mention your name.
Thank you so much for joining in today's discussion. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Like Isabella mentioned, do join us same time next week. My name is Naomi Darkon. I've been your host.
And my name is Philemon Edwards.
Have a good day.
Bye.